Alright, so this is going to be a video about Android 6.0 Marshmallow for the LG G4. The LG G4 has been rumored to get it for quite some time. I actually made a video about it, and it's one of the most popular videos for that topic on YouTube. It has about 10,000 views or so, and it's one. If you search Android 6.0 Marshmallow for LG G4, it's one of the first ones that shows up, which the video did get quite a bit of dislikes, quite a bit of likes, quite a bit of views, so I'm pretty happy about it. I believe it's at like 9,000 or 10,000, and definitely thank you for all the support on that video. It really did mean a lot to me, and what is this video about? It's my review of Android 6.0 Marshmallow for the G4. I've had this update, and just to prove that I'm not lying to you or anything, as you can see on my screen right now, Android 6.0 version 6.0, and the Marshmallow updates. What did it add? Well, it added many things. Many things have changed for the better and for the worst. First of all, here's the Easter egg. You probably don't care about this. It's just a quick. All the Android versions have this. It's basically the Flappy Bird game off of 5.0, but I don't think that's the main reason why you're watching this. First thing, this is something that I do not like. Not code settings. Not code was one of the passwords you can use on the G4. Actually, if you go into lock screen and then not code, it's the one where you type all the things. You used to be able to use just 4, so you could go, well, that's 5, but you get what I mean. You could have only used 4 on the previous version. Now you have to use 8 of them, I believe, or 6 of them, not 4. You have to use 6 of them, and you have to use 3 different squares, which is something I don't like. I had, right as I installed the update, it got rid of my password and said you have to change your password to a longer not code, or just go without it, which is something I dislike and really makes me wish the phone had a fingerprint scanner, but that's another thing. Next, app permissions. Well, this is something that many people are praising and are happy about, which I'm honestly not as happy as other people, but because I never really seen a reason to have it, it just seemed like an extra step. But many people are concerned about their privacy in apps, and this is the perfect way to control it. Basically, if you're on Android 6.0 Marshmallow, clicking on any of the apps, you can see, go into permissions, it will ask for the permissions it needs. Let's say you don't want 9 gig to see your contacts. You can turn that off. And it has permission to your storage, so it can save the photos. Basically, it's like iOS, where it will save to your gallery whenever it needs the permissions. And actually, if you go into any of these and press the menu button, all permissions, it will show you all the permissions that um for this app. This is something that a lot of people have been happy about, and I don't use it, but I think it's a good thing. Another thing is direct share. Direct share is whenever whenever you press the share button on Android. I don't want to do it because I don't want to give out any people's phone numbers, but when you press the share button, it's usually with your most used contacts. It shows 8 contacts at the top of the share menu above all the apps there, and you can directly share it to them. I wouldn't use it that much, but I think it's a good feature. Normally if I want to share something, I just press the share button and then click the app I want to share it to, but it's a good idea, and I think over time I may use it. Silent mode. This is definitely something pretty good. If you slide down from the top, you have your vibrate and your silent. This is something that many Samsung phones have had for quite some time, and I believe actually older LG phones had it. I had a prepaid LG phone which was running 4.4 KitKat. I still have it, and going on to silent, it would actually do that. It would do that, but for some reason, Lollipop, they decided to get rid of it for the notification mode. And something I noticed is going into here, this has been revamped a bit. It's a lot faster, and that's another thing. The speed of Android 6.0 has definitely improved over 5.0. LG UX has definitely improved for the better, and even the app drawer, that icon used to take quite some time to load. Sometimes you would press on it, especially after you change the home screen. It wouldn't load right away, but now it has loaded, and there have been a couple redraws here and there. The performance is not perfect, but it definitely, any improvement is a good thing. Sliding down from the top, you get auto brightness. Auto brightness used to make the phone quite a bit darker when you had it on, but not anymore. It stays about the same brightness, maybe a little bit less. I never use auto brightness, so that's not a feature I should be caring about that much, but many people do use it. Next is Capture Plus. Basically, it's the same as the Quick Memo Plus, which when you press it, it takes a picture of your screen, and there you go. You can draw on the screen. There actually used to be a button here on the previous version where it would give you, what was it? It would give you a two arrows at the top. There would be two arrows at the top here, and when you pressed on it, oh, I just had to get that out of the way. Actually, in each corner, there were little arrows that would let you resize it, and let's say you only want to just get a picture of that box. You were able to do that on the previous one. Now you have to go in here, use the shitty crop tool, which honestly without a pen it's not that great, and the other one was just much greater in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Another thing is, what's with that, if you used Quick Memo Plus, all your Quick Memo pictures now using Capture Plus, well, they're going to save to a different folder in your gallery called Capture Plus instead of your Quick Memo one, which, yeah, it's going to make organizing those pictures even harder than it already was, but that's something. Google Settings, previous versions of Android had Google Settings as an app. If you search for it, actually, yeah, it's not there anymore, but if you want to manage all your Google accounts, go into Settings, down by Personal, and you have Google. Memory settings, there definitely are settings for the memory. Actually, if you go into, I believe it is, yeah, you can. They're trying to manage the memory a lot more on this version, showing the apps that have used all your most of your memory. And I've been playing this. I've been playing on my phone throughout the day, so at school and all. So it's been showing what I've been using. Um, Going into app settings, the app, besides the feature of it loading a lot faster, which is something that's always great. You can manage them here, and actually you can move these apps to the SD card. Let's say I want to move 9 gig. You can actually change it to your SanDisk SD card. Sure, it's going to say a different brand depending on what you're using, but it's always a great feature that you can move them to the SD card. There's actually there's actually some problems with this update. One of the problems I noticed is Spotify, or not specific to Spotify, but apps. You're gonna have issues with apps. Spotify was the example I was using. I tried clicking on Spotify. No matter what I would do, it would not work. I just had to uninstall it and reinstall the app. And if you want to avoid all the problems, if you want to avoid as many problems as possible, I'd recommend a factory reset. But if you think a factory reset is over the top, such as myself, I would definitely recommend that you do a clear the system cache through the. There's videos online showing how to do it. Maybe just clear the cache of your phone through the settings, and your phone should be fine. The performance is a lot better from what I noticed, and the animations seem to be a bit smoother if I open like the Play Store or something. I used to actually turn off the animations because it made the phone that bit slower, but it still is a pretty good firmware upgrade. Definitely, I still think this update is going to be one of the better ones that the LG G4 has got, and it's quite great that the LG G4 has got it before the Galaxy phones, which were promised to get it before everything else. And battery optimization is another thing that I forgot to touch on. The battery life is supposed to be improved. I haven't noticed that much of a difference because I used my phone a lot more than I do most days. Today I was playing on a lot. I played on a couple days. It seems to be a bit better, and Android Doze is a feature in Android 6.0 where, well, it's gonna be, while it's in the background, it's supposed to use have better standby time. I'm trying to say that standby time, so you can put your phone down and it's going to shut down many of the features, so your phone's going to use less battery in the background when you're not using it. And it's probably not going to be as good as iOS's sleep mode, which you just, when your phone's in sleep, it honestly uses no power at all. But there, I had to just type in my not code, but as you can see, the update is a pretty good idea. What do you think of the update? I like the update, and it's added quite a bit of new features. Sure, I think there's some more they could do to touch up the UI in the future. There's some bugs I've noticed. This was also on Lollipop. I noticed when with the notifications you get, the overhead notifications, the ones that are like the little cards that show up kind of like a widget. Like the older versions used to show up just in the status bar. These ones kind of like show down from the status bar where you can slide them up. You know what I'm talking about. When this bar is down, I've noticed that, well, they still show up at the top of the screen instead of just showing down here in the bar. I'm not sure if they're supposed to do that, or is that just something that happened. But if the phone's acting up a bit, I definitely would recommend clearing the cache right away. When I installed the update, it wasn't so much faster. It was a bit slow. It was honestly a bit slow, but with a quick cache clear, I did that and then restarted it. I didn't really play much with it the first attempt before I cleared the cache, but once I initially did that, it definitely improved the performance, and I'm quite happy that I installed the phone. Sure, there is definitely things they can improve on. The messaging app is still very slow, and I'm talking about the default texting app, which is something that I should definitely change out in the future. And well, that's all I have to say. The update is a pretty good thing. I like that they've updated a lot of the things, and it was a very much well needed update. The phone, the performance is improved quite a bit, and I was fearing that the phone would slow down, but an update like this definitely seems to have saved it. That's all I have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. What do you think of this update? And how has your experience been with LGG for Android 6.0 Marshmallow? Besides the couple apps that I need to reinstall and clearing the cache, it's been pretty good so far, and it's been about the same except the performance is better, and all the new features have worked fine. That's all I have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and bye.